I'm Sandy Snavely, and I moved into my condo about 5 months ago. Living in the Pacific Northwest, you have very cold weather, and then you have very hot weather, and you have everything in between. I was on a limited budget as to how I was going to make my home more livable. And so I really was in desperate need.
How did you hear about the program, and what was it like applying for you?
I live in a condo community for people over 55, and I have several friends here, and several of them I go to church with. And most of them have had their heating system redone for mini splits. Fortunately, one of the men who helps to get these applied for goes to my church. So
Awesome.
I was able to talk with him, and he and one of the representatives from Verde came and interviewed me and gave me the application and helped me fill out the application. So it was perfect.
Once you were approved, how did the installation process go?
First of all, I was ecstatic. It didn't take long before an appointment was set for the installation process. Two men came into my home. One was the electrician who did the work in the attic. He was amazing. He went upstairs into the attic and did everything that he needed to do. Before he left, I'm not sure what brought about that conversation, but I said there have been some odd things because this unit is quite old, built in 1974, and we hooked up the disposal, but it wasn't working. We couldn't get it to turn on. So he walked into my kitchen and started looking around and just knew what switch to flip. And suddenly my garbage disposal was working.
That's
It was
great.
completely above and beyond the expectation. He was so kind, and it was just something he really wanted to make sure that was taken care of before he left. The other person, Marty, is the one who put up the mini split on the wall adjacent to me. He was the kindest, sweetest person. He
Aw.
walked in with such deep respect for my home. He was so thoughtful about the noise level, which was not bad at all.
Oh,
He cleaned up everything. There wasn't a speck of dust by the time, because they had to cut through my drywall. I went off to the store after he was finished. When I came home, I noticed that there were no weeds around that. And I thought, Marty pulled my weeds for me. So I thought, who does that? It was a pleasure to have him here, which isn't always the case when you live alone and have someone come into your home to do a job. I would love to have had him as a neighbor and just get to know him more and his family. He's a lovely person.
Have you noticed a difference in your home since the heat pump was installed?
There is such a huge difference in my home. As I mentioned, my heater in the living room was not working. And when it was installed, the weather wasn't really hot yet. And so I had heat in the living room for the first time. I could wake up in the morning and not bring a blanket out with me into the living room where I like to sit and have my tea and do some reading. It was like normal. You wake up and you go, I don't feel cold. I don't feel hot. I just feel like normal. This is awesome. And then the weather started getting warm, and then it got very hot, as it does, and it adjusts beautifully to the changing temperatures. It took me a few days, maybe a week, to get the temperature set to where I didn't have to change it. But once I was able to get the temperature that works for me, I never touch it. I haven't touched it in weeks. I haven't brought the temperature up or down. It just adjusts all the time.
Has the heat pump affected your energy bills at all, or do you expect it to?
I have only lived in my unit for, about 5 months.
Mhm.
So I don't have a lot of data to track, but I do know that my last bill was my lowest energy bill that I've had. I expect winter is going to go well for me. So it is a huge relief.
Is there anything you'd want other people to know if they're thinking about applying for this program?
I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't want to, unless it is something you can easily afford. then maybe let somebody else have the benefit of it. But otherwise, I can't think of a reason not to apply for it. The application process was so simple and it was friendly. I was really pleasantly surprised at how the people at Verde wanted you to do this, and they were so helpful and cheerful. It was like, please let us do this for you. They are genuinely excited to be able to provide these pumps for people who need it. And in where I am, as I mentioned, these units are old. And because it's over 55, people are financially challenged here. So getting a heating system into their homes is completely unaffordable. They can't do it. I was so uh, amazed and surprised that there was an organization that was able to do it. It's almost baffling. You think, how can you afford to do this for us? But and I almost felt guilty for taking it because I thought, oh, I wonder if somebody else who needs it more than I do would do better to have it. But I know how much I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was wonderful. It was wonderful.